Hello, today we're doing a cafe. For this one, I thought my thing was freezing. I don't know why the first half of this recording was but a bit choppy to hear. Maybe it's not choppy, I'm just taking my time just because I did speed it up. But that aside, yeah, we're doing a cafe. I just wanted to take a little break from the base game build of Willow Creek just because I don't really have any ideas for that. But I figured, I'd try something new, look up at some of the boards I have saved on Pinterest and just try to recreate something. So that's what I'm doing here. The look is pretty similar to another build I've done. I think, a restaurant. I did a restaurant that is like this. I don't remember the style, but it's like the concrete and plants. I know that's not really giving you much, but yeah, so I went with that. Just like copying the reference image, but I didn't like the how cold it felt because of the grays from the concrete, so I ended up doing a warmer color palette, which I'm very much happier with and glad I changed that. So as I did, also here I was trying to do something a little interesting with the roofing, just because that's also in the reference image, which I'll actually put the picture up here. And yeah, so I was trying to get as close to it, but I figured I'd just use the but the base of the shell to get the look, but everything else was my own little addition. As you see here, I'm trying to make it work, because even here it looks a little bit too cold and very prison like, so it's not really inviting, especially because the surrounding area is warmer tones and much more feels friendlier and happier, and this was just not matching with the look. So yeah, then here I was trying to add the yellows and browns, because obviously that warmth would be there, but it was just too much of a contrast, not compared, but against the cold gray stone. So yeah, definitely happy I got rid of that, because it was not gonna work. But yeah, also I wasn't very creative when making this cafe. I just called it Sungai Point Cafe, which is the name of the lot that you see now. I don't know, I feel like it's pretty hard to come up with creative names. I also searched up with Sungai if it had any meaning, and Google said it means river in Malay. So I mean, the river's right in front, so I figured it'd be good to keep the name River or Sungai Point Cafe, because the river you're seeing is just right there. So yeah. What else did I do? I also changed the signs. The cafe sign rather. I see that it's not billboard, but signage there. I was trying to use it because for the obvious cafe sign, but I ended up doing it without, because when you size up the lettering, it's the positioning on the sign doesn't work. And I also need to update my tool mod, because I did download it, and then when I opened the application, it looked like those old, I don't know if you've ever played those DVD typing games. That's the way it looked, the setup of the Sims. It was just, so I got rid of that. So this is all made without the tool mod, which the tool mod would have been very helpful, just because the build is, as you see, there's a foundation lift, and when I try to put plants on this side of it, how there's that little bit elevation error thing, or glitch that happens. So that was annoying, and it also limited the plants that I could use. But other than that, not too bad, not too mad about it. But yeah, so I'll have to update my mods, but I think that's the only mods I had, was the tool mod and the better buy. So eventually I want to get download CC, but I don't know if my computer can handle it, but we'll have to see. But yeah, also here's the glitch thing happening, just because of the foundation. It's nothing to do with the mods. I didn't have them installed at this point, but yeah. Something else. Oh, this little planch thing was also in the reference image. I probably would have done something similar without, but just a little heads up, I guess. But yeah. Also, the not windows, but the doors and windows, yeah. And I just feel like that's like when I started to get more, change the color palette to a warmer tone. I feel like I've been doing that a lot lately, warm tones. I mean, not many builds are going to be like entirely like cold, so it's not that odd. I also switched out these plants here and put a tree as well. I know this building, I want to say, it is 2 stories, but only the first floor is usable. I did like open ceilings or high ceilings, so that's that basically. Not much seating as well. I think I did a total of like 4 tables, and each table has like 6 seating. Yeah, so you have like 24 there, and then I did outdoor seating. I think that's like another 6 benches, and then some like 3 or 4 couches inside. But I mean, I don't think cafes get that busy in The Sims, at least not that I'm aware. The thing I'm more concerned about is how close the the espresso bar is to the because I did a little like divider from the seating and the like pickup area for your drinks. You'll understand once we see it. I have, but yeah, we'll get that out. But I am gonna plagiarize it, but hopefully that is not an issue. Obviously here, this is like where I was trying to figure out not how to do plants, but that's what the elevation errors came into play. But yeah, this was a challenge, trying to make it look interesting, but not too much, because I definitely wanted to add some natural lighting, given that the second floor is not going to be like used, so I figured I can go ahead and go crazy with those. But yeah, this is the signage I was talking about earlier. I wish the lettering was a bit behind, as that weird thing there, but yeah. Also, these don't snap to the sign. Wonder why. Maybe because they both light up. I wonder if that would be an issue. Not sure why, but yeah, ended up getting rid of this signage and just putting the cafe sticker and the lettering straight onto the wall. I kind of like that look better, because here I liked it, but I didn't like the white background of the behind the lettering. So that's my only reason for switching that out. I mean, it's not a big difference, but that was something I was contemplating. I think I really need to do some of these builds in Let's Build versions instead of speed builds, because sometimes I would like, it's good to get like second opinions and help. But yeah, so hopefully I can do that. I know I've been mentioning it, but we'll have to see when that will be possible. But yeah, what are they called? Freezes? There's a whole bunch like glitching happening, as you've seen here. I was trying to get it, but yeah, that was a struggle. I think I even stopped recording for a bit just because I was like really having issues. But yeah, I love this little detailing that went with the freezes. I think they're called or pronounced, but yeah, little fun detail there. I'm trying to think what else I did. I think the majority of it here, or at least the exterior, was just detailing. The entire video, well, not video, but the recording video is 49 minutes, and obviously it's sped up, but yeah, I'm surprised it didn't take me too long to do all this. Especially because it felt like a long time trying to figure out how to do this, but yeah. Oh, another thing I did change, which you probably already know given the thumbnail, but before I changed the grade, I also added some brown tiles, like just to certain sections of the build as well, and I feel like that helped make it cohesive, especially with the wooden doors and then the fries. I believe it's freezes. But yeah, so I think that like the brown tone is definitely, or tile was definitely the way to go, because this gray, I'm surprised I kept it for as long as I did. Maybe I was trying to add detailing, trying to make it work, but yeah, I just too much of a prison look, but not, yeah, definitely not the look for an inviting cafe. I mean, the plants, I always say the plants help bring life and to the build, but yeah, it was definitely not working for this kind of build. But yeah, trying to think what else was another thing that was not really that hard, but surprisingly had difficulties, was choosing fencing, because I wanted to do some outdoor patio seating. So outdoor patio seating, I know it sounds kind of weird, but outdoor patio seating. And yeah, the fencing was a bit of an issue. What else? Oh, these also, I mean, that roof piece, I think I changed it to skylights, but I changed it back to the roofing, just because no reason, just preferred it, really. But yeah, lots of, like, I feel like the windows and doors, I know there's a lot of, like, entrances and exits for this build, but like I said, it takes up space as well as lets in light, so that's really my reasons for it. Just because a lot, I mean, it's not that big of a build. Yeah, I don't think it's that big. I was gonna say, I think this is like a 30 by 20 lot. It could be a 40 by 30, I don't recall. But it's on the, I see 11C Sungai point, so I did that. I don't recall what the lot size for that is, but yeah. So one thing I want to say is I actually showed, oddly enough, more of my landscaping than the interior decorating, which is very, I didn't realize I was doing that, because I was while I was trying to figure out the exterior look, I was getting carried away and started doing the interior, so I didn't record all of that. So things are going to be already put together for the most part. But yeah, just a quick heads up. I also did, what I didn't show in build was the bathrooms, but I also did a small little staff / office area. Even though it's not going to be used, it is more for little detail. But yeah, because yeah, I was going to say the rest is open floor plans, so you're going to see everything else. But yeah, I really love the look of this build. I think it's warm, and it's the like aesthetic that I want it to be. Not exactly sure how I would describe the aesthetic, but I definitely love the overall look. It definitely feels, I want it to feel like a, not touristy, but, well, I guess kind of, considering the surrounding area, this is definitely more of a modern, like, style, corporate kind of looking style. So it is touristy in that sense, but yeah, I definitely want to have, yeah, I guess touristy is the way to describe it. But yeah, so here I was trying to figure out how to do some, not figure out, but try to do some, like a porch setup, but the roofing kept carrying over. Then I was trying a few other things, like, to make it work, but yeah, just was not working. But yeah, another thing I did, for the, this build's probably going to cost a lot of money, so you're probably going to have to do that, like, free real estate cheat. But yeah, mostly because of those, like, planters, that, like, boxy planters that I was putting around, I put those, like, littered those around the second floor, and you can't even see it. I mean, you can, but it just was, like, a little more detail, rather, just because in the second floor I did a little fencing and then took away the flooring just so you can have, you know, the high ceilings, and I put those plants around the fencing. But yeah, I could have done those what is it, business and hobbies plant like dividers, but I just didn't like the look of those. So yeah. Also here, I was going for yellow fencing just because I was wondering, given the windows with the gold color, like would yellow be feel good? But it just looked, I don't know, I just didn't like the look. Maybe I would have liked it with how I ended up changing the wallpapers, but I don't know, I just didn't feel it. But yeah, here the fencing was a bit of a struggle. I was going back and not back and forth, but I was going through a lot. I think I actually set up on this one, and then once I changed the wallpapers to the build, I changed the color swatch of this fence. And I said that way, yes. But yeah, I changed the color of that fence. No, yeah, fence. I was gonna say. But yeah, what else did I do? Also, the gate I use is smaller than the fence, which I'm not happy about. But I just figured, I just like the way the color matched with the, like everything was congruently. So I ended up just putting outdoor lighting for to give the gate some height. So I will have to player test it. But yeah, I see here, love the warmth. I was much more happier with it. I mean, you can kind of see the exterior. I'm saying kind of, you can't even see anything besides the landscape I did. Okay, you can see more there. But I went for what is it, like a yellowy beige sandy tone, I don't know. But yeah, I later added some brown tiling to some areas just to give it a little more interest. Oh, these are the planters I was talking about. Oh, well, there it was for a quick second. But yeah, really love the look of it. I feel like it's definitely like I said, touristy, like popular Instagram-y, that's not even a word, but like aesthetic, you know what I'm trying to say? Like definitely some place you're gonna go for the aesthetic. So yeah, here's the thing I was concerned about, is this like spacing between the dividers and the cafe or the espresso bar itself, because I know the Sims can like line up and hover there, so hopefully there's not like weird glitching or anything. But yeah, all in all, I think the build, I really like it. I think it's good. I think because I definitely want to add as much as I can of the for rent pack items just to fit in with the aesthetic and culture of Tomarang, I think. But yeah, so I definitely wanted that with the warm woods, lots of tropical plants and colors, which I'm getting with the tile and all. But I think it worked. I was also gonna do some orange for the chairs, like the padding, but I just figured white, maybe just keep it plain and not do too much. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and kind of curious what else you think, what you guys would add instead, because I feel like it's giving enough of the warmth. Maybe I could have added like a kitchen area, but I don't think it's necessarily needed for a cafe. I could be wrong. I don't think so. Hopefully you don't. But yeah. Alright. I think I'm gonna leave it here. Hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Enjoy the video tour. Bye.